I got ripped apart at the group meeting and stormed into the stairwell, swearing I'd marry into his family and make him pay. Didn't expect the advisor's campus heartthrob of a son to show up behind me. Not mad at all, actually looking hopeful as he asked if I meant it. He even handed over his late-night snack. But when I pretended to date him just to spite his dad, I slowly realized the kid had caught real feelings. Now he's got me cornered in the study, asking if I dare kiss him, and my advisor's footsteps are getting closer and closer outside. After getting roasted in the meeting, I sat on the stairs and let loose. You venom-tongued old man. One day, I'm marrying into your family so I can chew out your son and smack your grandkids while you can't say a word. Ha! At some point, the advisor's ridiculously handsome son had appeared behind me, eyes bright with expectation. Jennifer, did you mean that? Jennifer, your data handling is a once-in-a-millennium spectacle, mind-boggling, eye-opening. I could toss grain in the lab and chickens would do a better job than you. You're an engineering grad student, yet you write your papers like Dream of the Red Chamber. The literary world owes you a Nobel. I'd pulled an all-nighter on the paper, only to get flayed alive in group. The meeting dragged till 10 at night before everyone slunk off. I sat alone on the stairs, tracing circles on the floor and raving. That sharp-tongued fossil humiliated me in front of the whole lab. What, I don't have pride? One day I'm marrying into your clan, cursing out your son, smacking your grandkids while you stand there and can't butt in. See how cocky you are then. Huh. Just picturing myself jabbing a finger at the advisor's pretty boy son while the advisor fumed silently had me cackling to the ceiling. Then a voice, barely suppressing laughter, sounded by my ear. Senior, did you mean it? I whipped around and smacked right into the kid's annoyingly perfect face. He was bent toward me, smiling with crescent eyes, something like hope glinting there. With those sharp bones up close, my heart skipped a beat. I couldn't help thinking, how did that antique produce a son this handsome? His wife must be a fairy. Luke, don't get me wrong. I was just mouthing off. Caught talking big by the person in question, I waved my hands, flustered. Oh? Luke drawled, half buying it. I hurried to change the subject, eyeing the lunchbox in his hand. Taking food to your dad? Yeah. Mom asked me to bring him a late-night bite. My stomach, empty and pitiful, rumbled in agreement. Maybe it was the smell. My gut growled like a dying whale. Luke froze, then sensibly offered the box. Want it? You're a gem. Overjoyed, I took it and dug in right there on the steps, thinking if he chewed me out that hard, he owes me at least a meal. Luke looked a little stunned by how I ate. Jennifer, how are you this hungry? Don't ask. I wrote all night, realized at midnight my data was off. Spent all day rerunning experiments, haven't slept or eaten, and your dad still ripped me a new one. Tyrant, I grumbled between mouthfuls. I couldn't fathom it. My advisor's wife is gorgeous and cooks this well. How did she ever fall for him? Right? He's a tyrant. I'm a sophomore and he still forbids me to date. Who does that in this century? Luke sat beside me, denouncing his dad with righteous fury. I nodded hard with my mouth full, then he pivoted. So, Jennifer, want to date me and really get under the old man's skin? Date Luke? My face went hot. My brain spun date a hottie and annoy my advisor? What a deal. Deal, I said on the spot. But I'm brave only with my mouth, not my actions. Dating without love is just playing games. And I wasn't actually going to date Luke. Sure, he's exactly my type. But even rabbits don't eat the grass at the burrow, and I don't freeload. To needle the advisor, Luke and I changed to matching avatars. We each posted a moments update visible only to him, and him. He replied with a lone question mark. Then nothing. Figures my advisor's got nerves of steel. Even with his pig hauled off by a cabbage, he keeps a poker face. Time to up the ante. Luke, are we really kissing? His thin lips hovered 4 inches from mine. I hesitated. Come on, hurry. My dad's iron-willed. If we don't hit him with something visual, why would he lose it? Filial piety. I guess he was offering up a kiss to enrage his father. Only I'd never kissed a man in my 20-something years. We parked ourselves on his dad's route out of the building. I worked up my courage forever and still couldn't do it. Luke called me useless. When I saw the advisor strolling over with his briefcase, I clenched my teeth, shut my eyes, and went for it. First-timers clumsy, I hit Luke's jaw instead. The light stubble scratched, prickly, and tingling. I squinted to spy the advisor's reaction. He froze for a few seconds, then slapped a hand over his eyes and tried to tiptoe past us. As he drew even with me, he peeked through his fingers and caught me peeking at him. He stopped, spun on his heel, and bolted back into the building. An echoing door slam rattled the empty hall. He sounded good and mad. Regret crept in. Luke, your dad doesn't have high blood pressure or a bad heart, right? Luke just grinned, like a plot succeeded. Relax. He's fine. There was a smudge of my lipstick on his jaw. Remembering that tingly feel, I flushed and reached to wipe it off. He flinched on instinct. What are you doing? Jennifer didn't get enough. He put on that innocent puppy face that makes you want to commit a crime. The brat. He leaned in, still smirking. But hey, soft lips. I socked him in the chest. Little punk, trying to cop a feel? You kissed me. If anyone took advantage, it was you. He looked so pitiful it made me want to bully him more. Forget it, my advisor's only got this one heir. I shouldn't break the boy. At Luke's insistence, we kept showing up as a pair in front of his dad. No one knows a father better than his son. The old man really did seem rattled. The minute he saw me at a distance, he'd take off running. At the next few meetings, he listened to my reports with a stormy face and didn't say a word. On New Year's Day, we had the usual lab dinner. Luke showed up late, dragged over a chair, and plopped down beside me. Across the table, my advisor's gaze kept bouncing between us. When I looked up, he instantly dropped his eyes and started poking at his food. He really did look shaken, hopefully not catatonic. And Luke just poured fuel on the fire, leaning close and blatantly hooking his pinky around mine. I jolted and yanked my hand back. What are you doing? My dad's watching, Luke said, all innocence. I started to lose my nerve. The old man's mouth is sharp, sure, but his science is first rate. I've learned a ton here. And I, Jennifer, have always respected my elders and loved the young. Driving him to an early grave isn't exactly my goal. Let's stop. We're done. I leaned in and whispered to Luke. What do you mean? Let's drop the dating act. No more pissing off your dad. Disbelief flashed across his face, turning cold. So I'm just your tool? Pick me up when you need me and toss me when you don't, huh, Jennifer? His sudden temper threw me, but I still tried to explain. Luke, Hey, Junior, have a drink. A lab mate cut me off with a toast. Luke clinked glasses and deliberately put space between us, not speaking another word to me all night. He downed every toast from every senior and junior, laughing with everyone except me. He dodged me on purpose, leaving me strangely hollow, appetite gone. When the dinner finally wound down, my advisor suddenly called us out. Luke, walk Jennifer back. She's had a bit too much. My advisor was always a meticulous man. I couldn't hold my liquor after a few toasts to him. My head was spinning, my face red as a baked sweet potato. Luke was still mad at me, silent and cold. The air was awkward, and I waved my hand. It's fine, Professor. I can get back myself. Luke! My advisor barked his name. Luke grabbed my backpack from the chair, muttered, let's go, and strode out first. He didn't want to talk, following behind me in silence. When we reached my dorm, my classmate Larry was waiting there, holding a bouquet of red roses and a heart-shaped box. Happy birthday, Jennifer. Oh, right, New Year's Day was also my birthday. I wasn't clueless. Larry had confessed his feelings several times before. The setup tonight screamed confession. I'd always been open and clear with him, but with Luke standing there, it somehow felt like getting caught cheating. Luke spoke before I could, towering over Larry with an intimidating presence. What's your relationship? Larry flushed, stammering uselessly. Damn it. Why so coy now of all times? I hurried to explain. No, don't misunderstand. We're not. Jennifer! So you already have a boyfriend and still agreed to date me? You were stringing me along? Luke's tone was furious, his brow furrowed tight. My own temper flared. What the hell was he saying? I was stringing him along? Luke, our whole relationship was fake. Fake, do you get that? I don't like you. He gave a cold, bitter laugh. Right. You don't like me, yet you said you'd marry me, have my kids? Larry was still there. I felt my face burning. Rage made me blurt. Luke, those were just words said in anger. I don't even like you. You're just a kid, so immature. How could I possibly like you? The words flew out before I could stop them. Both of us froze. Yeah, I'm a kid. I'm immature. That's why you like him instead. His eyes reddened as he laughed bitterly. Disappointment written all over his face. A strange pang of guilt stabbed at me. I wanted to say something, but how could I explain when this had started as a stupid prank on his dad? Luke handed me my backpack, then turned and walked away, shoulders slumped. The sight made my chest ache. Jennifer, I'm sorry. I didn't know you two were. I didn't mean to cause trouble, Larry stammered. No, there's nothing between me and him. I turned away stubbornly, my voice trembling. When he saw my reaction, his eyes brightened, but I shut it down fast. And there's nothing between us either. Thank you for liking me, but I'm sorry, I don't feel the same. Larry hung his head. I understand. I dragged myself back to the dorm, tossed my backpack aside, and collapsed onto the chair. Luke never listens to a damn word. Something hard jabbed my back. I reached into the bag and pulled out a box. Inside was a silver ring, the inner band engraved with a tiny J. There was a card, too. Jennifer, happy birthday. It's my first time making a ring. It doesn't look great, but I hope you don't mind. I'll make a better one next time. Signed, Luke. Guilt crashed over me. He'd remembered my birthday, even made me a gift, and I'd said all those awful things. I clawed at my hair. Then my best friend called to wish me happy birthday. I poured the whole story out. She calmly analyzed. Jennifer, maybe Luke actually thought you two were really dating. You knew it was pretend, but he didn't. From his point of view, you dated him to piss off his dad, then dumped him once you got bored. To him, that makes you the jerk, someone who played with his feelings. Her words hit me like cold water. Could Luke have really taken it seriously? Was I a jerk? Did he actually like me? I remembered the rough, chapped skin on his palm when he reached out, maybe from sanding that ring. Damn, Luke really might like me. And I'd broken his heart. I couldn't bring myself to apologize, and he was too proud to reach out either. I didn't see him again before winter break. Late one night over break, scratching my head over a blank paper, I saw my advisor's social post. His whole family had gone back to their hometown for the holidays. Coincidentally, it was the same city as mine. My mom, thrilled, insisted on inviting them to dinner to show proper hospitality. His whole family, that meant Luke, too. We were still on bad terms. I had no idea how to face him. I made excuse after excuse until Mom dropped the idea, but she still pushed me to visit and pay respects. I stalled from New Year's Day all the way to the Lantern Festival. Mom finally snapped. What's next? You going to wait till mid-autumn to say Happy New Year? I held out until Luke posted that he was out of town, then finally dared to bring over gifts. My advisor's wife greeted me warmly, chatting nonstop. My advisor, though, looked uneasy. He sat nearby, torn between pretending to read and pretending to check his phone. His wife got annoyed and called him out. Jack, your student came all this way to see you. You're not going to say a word? Under her glare, he finally mumbled. Have you finished your paper? Ready to submit next semester? My smile froze on my face. Really, Professor? You had to go there? His wife shot him a glare. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything. It's the holidays. Let her rest. He ducked his head, fiddling with his phone, muttering, I said not to make me talk, but here we are. She served up a whole table of food and pulled out a bottle of yellow wine. Jennifer, this was sent by my brother. It's good for women's health. I caught a cold, can't drink. You drink a little with your professor. Heaven help me. I knew I couldn't hold alcohol, but I'd never known I'd turn into such a mess when drunk. A few cups in, I was clutching my advisor's sleeve, crying. Professor, be honest. Am I really that bad at research? Boo-hoo. You scold me every time, but I'm trying so hard. Don't I deserve a little dignity? Woo-woo-woo. I'm so dumb. I don't deserve to be your student. His wife pulled me into her arms, scolding him as she soothed me. Jack, look what you've done. So what if she can't finish an experiment? Is that worth breaking her spirit like this? I was too drunk to move, so she insisted I stay the night. The old house had no guest room, so she put me in Luke's bedroom. After several sleepless nights writing, I finally got a full night's rest thanks to the wine. But when I woke, it was like a thunderclap. Luke, long unseen, was propped up at the head of the bed, and I was holding his hand. More precisely, gripping his hand tight. His sleeping face was unfairly beautiful, but before I could admire it, his eyes opened. You're awake. He flexed his wrist, looking at me. I suddenly realized I was in a tight undershirt and yanked the quilt up to my chest. Luke, why are you in bed with me? If you didn't want to sleep on the couch, you could have woken me up to switch. He snorted and reached out to check my forehead. Drunken memory wiped, huh? I came back at midnight, saw you here, was about to leave, but you grabbed my hand, wouldn't let go, and kept apologizing. Apologizing? Crap, I couldn't remember a thing. Deep down, I knew I liked Luke, or I wouldn't have joked about marrying into his family. God, what if I said something stupid? I scrambled to save face. Luke, I was drunk. Whatever I said last night, I didn't mean it. Don't take it seriously. Luke twisted open a water bottle, set it down with a thud, and sighed. Got it. You're great at that. Senior saying things you don't mean. I forced a change of topic. Then why didn't you just pull your hand away? You were drunk and strong as an ox. You know that? A tiny girl with a grip like rebar. I lost feeling in my hand. My face burned. Jennifer, breakfast's ready, his mom called outside. I bolted out of bed so fast I almost fell. Terrified she'd walk in, I lunged for the door, but Luke caught me back. You're half dressed. Where are you running? I struggled, but couldn't break free. Please, they can't see us like this. Luke arched a brow. Why not? Am I that shameful? Please, please, I begged, hands clasped. He couldn't resist my pleading eyes and sighed. Fine, I'll go. Peeking through the crack, I saw his mom talking to him in the hall. Didn't you say you'd be back tomorrow? What are you doing home now, and did you see your senior sleeping in your room? Luke replied casually. Really? I just got back. Didn't see her. Good. Then you didn't bump into her. His mom breathed a sigh of relief. By the time I came out after getting dressed, Luke was gone, and only my advisor and his wife were at the table. I asked offhandedly, Where's Luke? Huh? How did you know Luke came back? He said he didn't see you. His mom looked puzzled. My stomach dropped damn. I doubted myself. My advisor looked startled, his hand shaking as he spilled half a bowl of soy milk. I just heard his voice while I was getting dressed. My clumsy excuse somehow passed. His wife didn't press. Luke went to meet his childhood friend. They rarely see each other during the year, so now they're inseparable. I let out a breath. Good gone was better. Otherwise, I'd never survive breakfast. As I calmed down, my lost memories began to resurface. Half asleep that night, I'd sensed someone standing by the bed. In the pale moonlight, I saw Luke's face. I'd groggily reached out and grabbed his hand, fisting his shirt with the other to yank him closer, mumbling complaints. Luke, you little brat. Such a bad temper, never let me explain anything. You're just like your dad. Bullying me. He had stayed bent over, dimples showing as he smiled. After a while, he tapped my forehead lightly, his voice full of fond amusement. You're the one bullying me. Thinking of that low, warm voice brushing my ear made me shiver. I shook my head hard, trying to fling him out of my mind. No, that had to be a dream, definitely not real. The new semester rolled around, and my mom practically moved the whole house into my dorm. She stuffed 40 pounds of luggage into a 20-inch suitcase and even added a woven sack on top. I couldn't resist posting her feat on social media. Luke commented, short and sharp. Time, train number. Was he coming to pick me up? Honestly, Luke could be such a sweetheart. I jumped onto my bed, hugging my plushie and squealing. Mom passed by, giving me a what-on-earth look, then shoved 2 boxes of vitamins into my luggage. When I got off the train that day, I started scanning the crowd right away. Luke was supposed to come, wasn't he? But instead of Luke, Larry popped out of nowhere. Ever since I'd turned him down, he insisted we should be just bros. He snuck up behind me and smacked my shoulder hard. What a coincidence, Jennifer! Same train, I thought that silhouette looked familiar. It really is you. Yeah, what a coincidence. My smile was stiff. He naturally grabbed my big woven bag and slung it over his shoulder, walking with me toward campus. I kept glancing around, still hoping to spot Luke, but he was nowhere to be seen. I left him a message saying I'd gone back to school with a classmate, just in case he was running late, but there was no reply all night long. After handing out the snacks my mom had packed, only the bag of beef jerky she'd made for Luke was left. I gathered it up and went to his dorm. Standing outside, I called, Luke, I'm downstairs. My mom asked me to bring your favorite beef jerky. But it was his roommate, Carlos, who answered. Hey, senior. Luke's totally wasted, been puking in the bathroom. What happened? Why's he that drunk? I asked anxiously. One of the girls in our club had a birthday. Everyone was having fun, drank a little too much. Don't worry, I'll look after him, Carlos said before hanging up. I could still hear retching in the background. No wonder he didn't come get me, he'd gone to some freshman's birthday party. Great. I carried that beef jerky 2,000 kilometers for nothing, should have fed it to the dogs. That night, I did exactly that. I fed every cat and dog around campus, and they all trailed after me, wagging their tails like I was their leader. I scratched a cat's chin and patted a dog's head, feeling oddly satisfied at least they had loyalty, unlike Luke. Right after school started, our department and the art college held some mixer. My roommate insisted I go. My paper still hadn't been accepted, so I refused repeatedly. Anna, what are we doing at an undergrad mixer? She drew her eyeliner and countered. They never said grad students can't go, and I heard the art guys are super hot, way better than our nerdy engineering types. I couldn't let her insult our own department. Luke's not bad, I argued. Anna perked up. Exactly, Luke. Your advisor's son. He'll be there too. My fingers froze on the keyboard. So that's where he'd been all this time? Busy with this? Oh, I was definitely going. I slung my bag over my shoulder, grabbed Anna, and rushed out the door. String lights twinkled across the lawn. Groups of college kids sat in circles, 2 in the center singing a duet. Of course, the guy was Luke. The girl wore a pink mini dress, sweet and cute. Their voices, hers soft, his deep, blended perfectly. The crowd cheered and waved like crazy. When Luke's eyes met mine, he faltered, missing the beat. The girl glanced at him nervously. They looked like a perfect pair. Anna didn't care much for singing. She dragged me toward the board game tables instead, where, coincidentally, Carlos was sitting. He spotted me and waved excitedly. "Luke, your senior's here." "I'm right here." "Why are you yelling for him?" I teased. Thanks to Luke, Carlos and I were on easy terms. Luke, fresh off stage, obediently walked over with the girl in tow. They sat across from me. The girl quickly joined the game. Luke fiddled silently with his phone. "Senior, what brings you to an undergrad mixer?" Carlos asked, casually. I echoed Anna's words. "Why not? No rule says grad students can't attend." "That's not what I meant. Just thought you had a boyfriend," he said. I blinked. "Who spread that rumor?" He instinctively looked at Luke. "Luke, you sly dog lying to us because you're scared we'll chase after your gorgeous senior? Not cool." Luke didn't protest, just looked down with a faint smile tugging at his lips. Carlos grinned. "Senior, Luke says your mom's beef jerky is legendary, puts every snack shop to shame. Didn't you bring him some last time? Got any left? Let me try." "You gave me beef jerky? When?" Luke asked. "Oh, her birthday when you got drunk," Carlos said, nodding toward the girl beside him. "Got it. So she was the birthday girl. A few days ago, celebrating with her. Today, singing love songs. Luke, I actually believed you liked me." "So, where's the jerky?" he dared to ask. My anger flared. "Fed it to the dogs," I said flatly. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Exactly what it sounds like." I grabbed Anna and stalked off. She looked back wistfully at the art boys while Luke and Carlos just stood there, stunned. A few weeks later, our senior brother was about to graduate, so the whole group planned a beach barbecue. I was told to invite Luke, but didn't. While chopping vegetables, I overheard two guys talking. "Haven't seen Luke in ages. He skipped the last few lab gatherings. He's just a sophomore, he's got better things to do. Hanging out with the young crowd instead of us research zombies." Huh. He's in the student union, right? Probably organizing events nonstop. Youth. Their lives are so colorful compared to ours. With our advisor's strictness, graduating at all is a miracle. Jealous of senior? His defense went smoothly. So, where's he headed after graduation? The topic drifted, but my mind stuck on that phrase, young crowd. Whoever said older women are gold clearly never tried it. Between me and Luke, it felt like there was more than a mountain between us. Midway through, Luke showed up unexpectedly, bringing that same girl, holding a bouquet of flowers. Luke rarely showed up with girls, so the sight of them together drew teasing from all sides. "Luke, I knew it. You've been hiding something. No wonder you never hang out with us anymore, too busy with your new girlfriend. Come on, spill it. How'd it start?" "Cut it out, guys. It's not like that," Luke said shyly. I turned my back, brushing sauce over the beef, pretending not to hear, though my ears were straining toward them. "I've seen that girl before the school's official account posted your duet. You two were the cover photo. Total power couple." The girl tried to explain, flustered. "It's not what you think, really. You guys talk, I'll step away." She slipped off to the side. Luke muttered under his breath, "Don't say that stuff, or my senior will hear." He was actually afraid I'd overhear? Couldn't own up to it? I got so caught up listening that I forgot the meat I was grilling. Oil dripped onto the coals, and flames whooshed up, making me scream and jump back. Luke rushed over, grabbing my hand to check. "You okay? Burn yourself?" "I'm fine." I pulled my hand away awkwardly and went back to poking the skewers, hoping to salvage them. One of the seniors shouted, "Junior, how long you been grilling that? It's practically jerky now." I was already on edge, and his words lit the fuse. "If you're so picky, grill your own damn meat," I snapped, tossing down the tongs and storming off to sit in the shade. Luke casually followed, holding one of my skewers. Chewing. He started buttering me up. "Who said it's overcooked?" "It's perfect. Senior, you could go on a cooking show with these skills." "Senior, I only like the meat you grill, make me 2 more. Yeah?" He circled around me like a noisy duck. I finally snapped. "Senior, senior, senior, why do you love calling me that so much? Need to remind me I'm older every time? Am I your big sister or what?" Luke froze, clearly not expecting me to blow up over that. "Jennifer, are you having age anxiety?" His startled look made me feel guilty. I shouldn't have barked at him. "Maybe a little," I admitted. "Because of me? So what if it is? I mean, I'd love a cute junior to hang out with too, is that not allowed?" He teased, folding his arms. "You're so stubborn, Jennifer." His easy tone made my teeth itch with irritation. I spun on my heel, refusing to answer. He chased after me. "Jennifer, can't you just admit you like me?" "Cornered," I blurted out. What's the point of liking you? You're already all lovey-dovey with that junior. Luke burst out laughing, leaning in close until his face filled my vision. You've got 2 eggs hanging under your brows, good for blinking, bad for seeing. Didn't you notice how your precious junior can't take her eyes off our senior brother? I followed his pointing finger, sure enough. She was chatting animatedly with him, flowers in his arms. Really? I asked, doubtful. She fell for him the day she enrolled. She only asked me to help because she knew he's my dad's student. I figured I'd do a good deed, good karma, and all that maybe my own love life would go smoother. Didn't expect someone to get jealous. I pouted. How do I know you weren't just taking advantage? You said you'd pick me up after break, but you went to her birthday instead and got drunk. Oh? How'd you know I was coming? Did I say that? Were you waiting for me? Damn it, he had me there. He never actually said it. He smirked, turning the tables. I got up before dawn to come get you, and you walked out of the station with Larry like a couple. I was standing right there. You didn't even glance my way. Be glad I didn't make a scene. Having a few drinks to drown my sorrows isn't allowed now. His words hit like bullets, and my excuses grew weaker. I really didn't see you. Luke smiled, satisfied. Well, since I'm the bigger man, Jennifer, how about we make the fake thing real? My head snapped up. Make it real? Not bad. But our first real date ended up running straight into my advisor. When it was fake, I could hold Luke's hand right in front of him. Now that it was real, I was terrified. My first instinct was to bolt, but Luke's grip was firm, pulling me back. His gaze at his father was half smug, half defiant. Oh God, this was it, expulsion. No diploma. Their father-son war had nothing to do with me. You two are dating? My advisor demanded, stern-faced. The dumbest student stealing his son, he must have been furious. I hid behind Luke instinctively. That's right, Luke declared boldly, raising our clasped hands and giving them a little wave. He was insane. I was mentally preparing to drop out and sell socks on the street, only for my advisor to slap his thigh and laugh. Finally. So I can talk to you now? Jennifer, you have no idea. This kid and my wife forbade me from speaking to you. They said I'd scare off my future daughter-in-law. I've been holding back for ages. That paper of yours, it's a disaster. Come by tonight. I'll give you some one-on-one guidance. Hold up, so he'd been avoiding me not out of anger, but because Luke and his mom told him to? Watching him hurry off, I turned to Luke. So your dad's known all along and he approves? Of course. He's harsh, but he likes you. Remember when you came to our house for New Year's? We were still fighting then. He tipped me off to come home early so you wouldn't have dinner alone. But there was an accident on the road. I got stuck till midnight. Luke looked proud of himself. No wonder his dad had acted so awkward that day. Now that I knew both parents were fine with it, I finally relaxed. That evening, I showed up at my advisor's house, laptop in hand, ready for academic torture. He was clearly impatient, barely touched dinner before dragging me into the study. Pointing at my paper, he chose his words carefully. Jennifer, this literature review is well written. My heart leapt. But you should delete all of it. My smile froze. A sweet date, followed by a slap. I sighed. Professor, just say it straight. Relieved, he let loose. All right, this innovation? Out of this world, literally. You think you can pull this off? And this section, he was cut off by his wife's loud cough outside the door. Adjusting his glasses, he cleared his throat. You've made good progress. Promising student. Keep it up. I'll just, get some water. Calm myself down. Review the rest yourself. The door had barely closed when Luke slipped in. What are you doing here? I asked. He didn't answer, just walked over. Chin propped on my hand. I stared miserably at my screen. Luke, am I really that hopeless? Nonsense. My dad's standards are brutal. Your paper just needs work. Other students get theirs scrapped completely. He says your best trait is your attitude, you never hold a grudge. He only dares to scold you because he knows you won't break. You're my inspiration. My guiding light. I snorted. You're getting good at pep talks. I've got better ways to cheer you up. His grin turned mischievous as he braced his hands on either side of my chair, leaning in close. What are you doing? This is your dad's study, I hissed. I am studying, he said shamelessly. Studying how to date you. He kept leaning closer. I pressed against his chest, panicking. Stop it. Your dad could walk in any second. He didn't budge, teasing. Didn't you once boast you'd scold his son and spank his grandkids? What's there to be afraid of? I was joking. Of course I'm scared. I shoved him back just enough to breathe, feeling dizzy from the heat. He brushed his nose against mine, soft and ticklish. Our breaths tangled, his whisper low and tempting. Then dare to kiss his son? and before I could react, his lips crushed onto mine. My eyes flew wide. Through the crack of the door, I saw my advisor approaching with a glass of water. I almost kicked Luke off me. Just as the door handle turned, his mom appeared, grabbing her husband by the collar and dragging him away. My heart pounded like a drum. Luke paused, eyes hazy as he looked at me. Jennifer, your heart's racing. My face flushed. It is not. I didn't finish before he kissed me again. Deeper this time, swallowing my gasp. The moonlight was gentle, but not as gentle as him. On my laptop, my unfinished thesis sat open, its cursor blinking on the final line of the acknowledgments. Thanks to my boyfriend Luke. Words are short, love is long.